Member for Sussex Funday St. Martin's.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think yesterday I caught the Deputy Premier off guard again. While I began questioning him on the massive privacy breach involving a stolen briefcase with keys, names of people, and their phone numbers. These keys and personal information belong to 600 seniors and low-income New Brunswickers. Through the access to information, we have discovered that the focus of the government was to keep this from the public and out of the media until the legislature rose this summer. And they succeeded in delaying our questions until now, Mr. Speaker. This is a very serious matter. A crime occurred, as the minister said yesterday, and we all know that, but have the police caught the criminal? Does the minister know that much? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Deputy Premier.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. No, I wasn't caught off guard. We expected these questions quite some time ago. I can tell you that the police are investigating. I don't know the outcome of the investigations this far, but I want to make sure that the blame is in the right position. Social development work very hard to help people in our province, and will continue to do so, and I'm proud of them, and I'm proud to be in that department. Here's an individual who thought he was doing better. Once the crime had occurred, we informed all the right people, all the correct people, and it took action immediately. We wanted to make sure everybody was safe, and we'll continue to do that. But I want to make sure that when crimes do happen in our province, Mr. Speaker, that unfortunate things happen to the good people, and we will continue to work hard for the good people of this province. Mr. Speaker, a crime has occurred. They do continue to occur, and I want to also mention that the police do fine work, and I'm sure if the member opposite, I will look into it, to their investigation. I don't get involved in the investigation, but I know that they do good work for the people of this province. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Sussex Funday St. Martin's.
Mr. Speaker, I'm well aware of our first responders doing great work in this great province of New Brunswick, Mr. Speaker. I don't have to get a lesson on that. The massive privacy breach is concerning, and equally concerning is the government's focus on keeping it quiet. As I said, they succeeded in a one-day story and out of the media almost entirely. This is putting politics first and the province second. We must know, along with keeping this information from the public, did the government keep the information from the Privacy Commissioner? A simple question. Honesty is the best policy. Was the Privacy Commissioner informed of this massive privacy breach, involving 600 seniors and the low-income earners of New Brunswickers? Did the government tell the Privacy Commissioner, Bertrand, that the massive privacy breach had occurred? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Deputy Premier.
Again, Mr. Speaker, I did answer that question yesterday. Everybody that needed to be informed was informed, including the Privacy Commissioner, immediately. She had no concerns. And unfortunately, the member opposite needs a lesson in policing, and I'm sure he would like to talk to the member from Carleton York. When a crime does occur in this magnitude, and we understand it's a big issue here, you can't just go out and tell the public what happened. All you're doing is informing the criminals of what the keys were for, and what's going to happen then. More crime will occur. So the police did, and I believe the government especially did, the right thing by keeping it quiet for a couple of days until all the locks were changed and make sure all the people in this province were safe, including the people at social development. So again, we did do what we needed to do. We didn't keep it quiet. Unfortunately, that's all you're going to get from the opposition, that this government is doing great work for the people of this province and keeping them safe. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Sussex Funday St. Martin's.
Speaker, it's certainly alarming for this side of the House to say that the Privacy Commissioner had no concerns about this matter. It's silence from the Privacy Commissioner, and this minister stands up and says that she has no problem with what has taken place. Mr. Speaker, that's not what his job is. His job is to keep the people of New Brunswick safe and to let the Privacy Commissioner know about the whole situation, and for him to say that she had no concerns. I'm sure we'll hear a little bit more about this as we dig into it. So obviously she's been told, but the minister is saying there's no concerns. So there's so many questions about this matter, Mr. Speaker, and this government, this minister wants to put it underneath the carpet, not let anybody get the answers to the questions, and it's a formula that this government has done in the last 2 years and obviously is going to do in the future in the next 2 years, Mr. Speaker. So let's get all the details.